Well, we love to hear from our listeners. Let's go to the phone right now and see what's on one of our listeners' mind.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Sheri. This is Rich out of Monroe. I just heard, I didn't catch all of it, but I heard that story about the raccoon. Recently, I was on my motorcycle on Highway 74 in Monroe heading east, and there was a raccoon. I was in the left lane. The raccoon was coming from my left trying to cross 74. And I saw him, and I slowed up, and he got past me, and I started to accelerate. He turned around like a freaking squirrel and got right in front of me. And at that time, I wasn't able to slow up too much because there was a truck coming behind me. So I slowed up as much as I could, and I didn't run him over, but my feet were on my the foot pegs, and my left boot caught him in the head, and he went rolling. And I saw him scramble in the rear mirror, when I got past him, and he got out of the road. And I went the next morning and looked. I didn't see any blood, but I gave him a pretty good boot to the head. Have a great day, and thanks for the wonderful show.
This is the sort of thing that inspires people. I am so glad that Rich called.
I just have to say, I never gave much thought to what my life would be like as a trash panda, but I'm pretty sure that if I was a raccoon, this would happen to me. I would catch a motorcycle boot in my head on the side of the road. The odds, do you know how dramatically stacked against you the odds are of your motorcycle, your boot, and a raccoon's head all intersecting in that moment? Like, it's got to be 1 in a million, billion.
Let me tell you what, that's going to be a story that Rick will be telling the rest of his life. The rest of his life.
Let me introduce you to a raccoon that everybody's tired of running into. Every dumpster that raccoon visits, they're like, "Oh, hey, buddy, how you doing? Oh, man, I still have a headache from where that motorcycle dude kicked me in the head. What are the chances?"
I always wanted a motorcycle. I never got one because I've talked about this before. When I was 16, I said, I know we don't have enough money for me to get a car. I like to have a motorcycle. You'll kill yourself with wet leaves. No. And I didn't get it. But I have to tell you, whether it's my getting older or whatever, when I see one go by me about 90 miles an hour on a freeway, my heart's in my mouth for those people. It just seems so damn dangerous. And where I live, you don't need a helmet.
You know what you might like instead of, because you're not going to be a motorcycle dude now. Like, you're not going to be a biker. But have you ever thought about maybe getting you one of those Can-Ams? I want one so bad. They're like 4-wheeled little buggy kind of situations, or sometimes they're on 3 wheels.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are Harleys with 3 wheels. It's not so much my tipping over or locking my Hokas sneaker around a raccoon's head. It's more some inexperienced driver plowing into me.
Oh, Bob, you just reminded me. So I'm with my sister-in-law last week, and we're talking about. I was like, I like your. She had a new pair of Brooks running shoes. I said, I like those, Nance. Are you liking them? She was like, yeah, but I just want something that's a little more, like soft. And I was like, oh, you need Bob. Bob tells me all the time that he loves his Hokas. You need to get a pair of Hokas. And she said, what are Hokas? So I was explaining to her, and she said, and who recommended these? I said, Bob, Chit Chat. And you could see on her face that she was trying to decide if she wanted to get Chit Chat sneakers. Because you're a man, right? You're a dude. She's very girly. She's very girly.
Let me tell you why I'm tired.
On your side with this.
She disrespected me. Listen, this is, and I'm going to do a whole thing on Hokas. So I got a pair of Hokas. They're navy blue. Because I wear a lot of blue jeans, so I thought it was very nice the way the navy blue just continued my lines. And it has a very thick sole that's white in this particular brand. So I'm at my niece. I'm at Elle's birthday party, my granddaughter's birthday party, and I'm down at her level with these blue Hokas on. Somebody online took it, did a screenshot, and showed how thick the soles were and posted just the soles and said, is there something wrong with Bob's feet?
Is there a brace that goes with them? Is there a leg brace that goes with
Shut
them?
up.
Instant access to the podcast, and fun side. Just download the free Bob and Sheri app.
I keep meaning to tell you guys about a place that Tony and I had dinner while we were in Vegas for that convention. We went to Giada's restaurant, Giada de Laurentiis, your
Yeah.
favorite
I
television
love
cook.
her. I love her, but I'm not allowed to say that in my house if I'm watching.
You're not allowed to say that you love her. Well, you never
Yeah.
know with celebrity branded restaurants. Like in Vegas, every celebrity has a restaurant. Gordon Ramsay has one. Lisa Vanderpump has one. I mean, they're just everywhere. And so Tony got reservations at Giada's and we headed there for dinner because the two of us are like, are we away from home and our spouses were eating pasta? So we went, and can I tell you, every bite of that meal was fantastic. And the
Really?
service was amazing. Yeah, I was so pleasantly, delightfully surprised because you just never know with something like that. And I love her
It's true.
too. Like I've always loved her cooking show. I love like she's real tiny but with a giant head. I just could eat her up, right? And her recipes are authentic, but a lot of her food seems approachable. Like it's simple. You feel like, yeah, it's not like an episode of Chopped where you're asked to take an octopus, some chocolate syrup, and an emery board and turn it
Octopus
into an
ink and
appetizer.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
So Tony got this like bolognese sauce made out of wild mushrooms and vegetables, and I got a bucatini with a spicy Calabrian chili pomodoro sauce and fresh ricotta. It was so good. And so the waiter brought it over and it was beautiful to look at, and it was presented on the plate like Sunday dinner at my grandma Bartholetti's, like so legit. And I
Yeah.
took one bite and closed my eyes, and Tony said, "Good." And I was like, "It's back in South Philly, grandma's good." It was that good.
Mm.
And I was
I was in a
so delighted.
I was in a barbecue restaurant years ago, and I'm sitting at the counter there, and there's two TV screens on. One of the screens had on some sports, ESPN or whatever, and the other one had on Giada. And there's a barbecue restaurant at noon, and there's 10 stools, so there's a lot of guys. It's all guys. Every one of the guys was transfixed on her. And when I say I can't watch her in our house, Mary will come in and catch me watching Giada, and she'll say, she is such a tease. All she wants to do is make men hungry and show her boobs.
Listen, the thing about Giada is her beauty is wholesome and approachable. She is not overtly sexy. Like you don't look at
Yeah, that's
Giada
true.
chopping a lemon and go, "Yeah, I'd like to hit that." she's wholesome, beautiful, and she's
Yeah.
sparkling and bubbly and charming and
Yeah.
enthusiastic. She is as appealing to female viewers as she is to male viewers, and she's a really good professionally trained chef. So it's not just that like she's adorable and can make a meatball. Like she's so legit. And her restaurant, the menu was just incredible. The service, everything about it was just like, yeah, I cannot believe that I'm on the strip in Vegas having this really authentic, nostalgic tasting Italian food. So just wanted to shout that out if anybody, because I see our listeners on social heading in and out of Vegas all the time. If you get a chance to get a reservation, I don't think you'll regret it. Like we were clean plate club for sure. It was absolutely yummy. And it was so nice because like when you're a fan of someone and then you have like a disappointing experience and you're like, "Oh, I'm still a fan, but
Yeah.
You-
Don't meet your
that-
heroes.
yeah, that was not this." So the next thing
Yeah.
I'm going to do is give Gordon Ramsay's restaurant a try. I've heard from people, like from listeners, that it's really, really good. I just wish that part of the experience was Gordon coming out and yelling at you. I would pay extra to
Oh,
be yelled
God,
at by Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
He
you
could
get a
fill up the
chance, hit
place.
up Giada's in Vegas, and if they have that Calabrian chili, pomodoro bucatini,